All right, let's talk about something huge, real estate. For most of us, buying or selling a house is going to be the biggest financial move we ever make. And when the stakes are that high, you have to know who you can trust. So we're going to break down the rules of the game, the ones that are there specifically to protect you.
I mean, just think about it for a second. This isn't like buying a new TV. Buying a house or selling one, it's a major life event. It's a milestone. We're talking about a ton of money and a decision that literally shapes your future. So yeah, it's exciting, but let's be real. It can also be incredibly stressful.
And that's what leads us to the big question, right? With all that money and emotion on the line, how do you actually know you're being treated fairly? How can you be sure the person guiding you through this whole process, your agent, truly has your back? It's a totally valid question. And the good news is there's a whole system in place to make sure you're protected.
Okay, so let's get into what that system looks like. It all comes down to a foundation of trust that's built on 3 pillars: law, morals, and ethics. And really, getting a handle on these is your first step to feeling confident in this whole process.
So you probably hear these words thrown around a lot, and they kind of sound the same, but they're actually different. The easiest way to think about it is this. The law is the absolute bare minimum. It's the set of rules everyone has to follow or they get in big trouble. But ethics, that's a higher standard. It's the code of conduct that a profession, like real estate agents, agrees to live by. It's not just about what you must do, it's about what you should do.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Ethics is all about aiming higher. The law is the floor, the absolute minimum you can do without breaking a rule. But ethics is the ceiling. It's the ideal. It's a whole framework built on things like honesty, fairness, and doing the right thing for your client, all designed to make sure you can trust the professionals you're working with.
All right, so let's start with that floor, the government's rule book. These are the absolute non-negotiable laws that every single person with a real estate license has to follow. Think of these as your minimum guaranteed protections. And there are some real heavy hitters in here. You've got the Federal Fair Housing Act, which is huge. It basically says you can't discriminate against anyone for things like their race, religion, or gender. It's about equal opportunity. Then there's the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, which makes sure that people with disabilities have equal access to housing. And believe me, these are not suggestions. They are serious mandates.
And it doesn't stop there. There's a law called the RESPA, which is all about making sure you know exactly what your mortgage is going to cost. No hidden fees, no shady kickbacks. And then there's the Sherman Antitrust Act. This one's all about keeping things competitive. It makes it illegal for agents or brokers to get together and secretly decide to fix their commission rates. The goal for all of these laws? Transparency, a level playing field for you.
But like we said, the law is just a starting point. The best professionals go way beyond that. They pledge to hold themselves to a much higher standard, and that's where you really start to build trust. Now we're getting into what it truly means to be an ethical agent.
Okay, first up is a big one, fidelity. This is a cornerstone of the whole thing. Put simply, it means your agent's loyalty has to be 100% with you. They have to put your interests above everyone else's, and that includes their own. It's not about their commission, it's not about making a quick sale, it's about you, full stop.
Next up, integrity. This one's pretty simple. It's all about being honest. Your agent has a special duty to be truthful and to be super careful not to mislead anyone. And that means not just lying, but also not leaving out important facts. It's about being completely straight with people.
And this one is so important. Competency. Look, your agent needs to actually know what they're doing. They have to be knowledgeable about the market, stay on top of what's happening, and use real skill and good judgment. You're hiring a professional, and they have an ethical duty to act like one.
And, if you want to boil down the spirit of all these professional codes, it really comes down to this: the golden rule. It's right there in the preamble to the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. It just goes to show you the real goal isn't just about dodging lawsuits, it's about aiming for something better, treating people the right way.
So what happens when an agent faces a really tricky situation? How do they make the right call? Well, they're actually taught to use a framework just like this. It's a way to step back, look at the problem, gather the facts, weigh the different options, and then make a choice and think about it afterward. It's a tool to help them do the right thing, not just the easy thing.
Okay, we've talked a lot about laws and codes and what agents are supposed to do. But let's bring it back to what really matters. What does all this mean for you? This is where the rubber meets the road. All of this stuff, it establishes your rights.
So here's what you need to remember. You have the right to expect total loyalty from your agent.
That's fidelity. You have the right to expect them to be honest. That's integrity. And you absolutely have the right to expect them to know what they're doing. That's competency. And on top of all that, you're protected by law from things like discrimination and shady business deals. This isn't just wishful thinking. These are your rights.
And maybe the most important part of all of this? These rules have real teeth. If you think an agent has crossed a line and violated these rules, you're not just stuck. Every state has an official body, like a real estate commission, where you can file a formal complaint, and they will investigate. They have the power to discipline agents, so there is real accountability here.
So we're going to leave you with this one final thought. You now get it. You understand the whole framework of laws and ethics that's there to protect you. So the real question you have to ask is, does your agent? Are you working with someone who doesn't just know the rules, but actually lives and breathes them? Because the great ones do. And now, you're in a much better position to find one.